I grew up in the penitentiary. But just to hear what you've experienced and not have no trauma scars.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Right? We can't see them. We can't see them. So
I've done a lot of interior work for
Okay.
that. It takes a lot of time to shake off that family of origin crap. It takes decades.
welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina, and today I have a special guest with me, Pastor Nate Elarton. Did I say it right, Pastor Nate Elarton? Nope, I didn't.
Elarton.
Elarton. I'm sorry about that. Hey, but listen, man, today I wanted to bring something different to the audience today. We always talk about fatherhood. What does it mean to be a healthy dad? We talk about, family structure, leadership for men and women. And I asked Pastor Nate if he wouldn't mind coming on the show to share what it means to really walk that walk, what it means to really focus and hone in on your gifts and talents. And how do you take what you have inside you and share it with the world? And so, Pastor Nate, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
I'm blessed. And so first of all, where are you from?
I grew up in Morenci, Michigan, but I'm from Temperance, Michigan right now.
So are you Wolverine?
Yeah.
Because we're Buckeyes.
Yeah,
here.
I know. I saw some signs. I came anyhow.
I appreciate that. So you grew up in the state of Michigan.
Yep.
And you currently live in Michigan.
Yep.
Wow, man. That's, recently, Cathy and I have had the privilege of going camping up in Michigan, up
Nice.
Traverse City.
Oh, nice.
Grand Haven.
Beautiful.
And just an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And I will be really transparent. The more often I go there, the more I fall in love.
Yeah.
Once you pass a certain segment of Michigan, it's all woods. It's all
Beautiful.
It's just an amazing country. So Thank you for coming.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
So how long have you been a pastor?
Well, I've been a pastor since my whole adult life. I found faith in high school, and I was looking at going to some wrestling schools, wrestling scholarships, and my whole trajectory changed when my best friend committed suicide. I was praying about what to do with my life, and had an experience with the Lord. I felt like He wanted me to help other people. I ended up saying no to some scholarships and went off to Bible college.
Wow. So right out of high school, so when your friend committed suicide, was that during high school or after high school?
Yeah, I had two friends did that within months of each other.
You had two friends in your sphere of influence.
So yeah, we were all on the wrestling team. One was a captain. One had been best friends since kindergarten, and they took their lives. They just felt like there was no hope. Of course, man. I was 16. I didn't know how to process all that. I just knew I wanted to help people in some way. And then when that happened, it kind of pushed me over the edge. Like, I'm going to dedicate my life to help people have hope.
So since 16, you've been on this journey.
Yep. I changed all my stuff. I left for Bible college, went out to Minneapolis and did my undergrad there, and was a youth pastor for 10 years down in up in northern Michigan, and then down in southern Indiana. And then I landed in Northville, Michigan, and then we left there 28 years ago to start a new church in Temperance.
Wow, but that heck of a beginning.
Yeah.
You know, what caused you to really examine, and at such a young age to have the wisdom and insight to say, you know what, I don't want to go down this track here. I see where it leads, but I need something to change my direction. Or, I mean, what were you involved in? Was it possible that you were going to go down that track?
Yeah, I didn't grow up in a home at all that went to church. I mean, if we went to my grandparents, you had to go to church with them if you wanted to stay over there. But my dad was an alcoholic. My mom, I had 5 brothers and sisters, all from different dads. We were a very blended family. I was the youngest of the 5, so I was living with my mom and dad and their biological dads. Just saw, the cops at our house, domestic violence, alcoholism, drug abuse. My brother was in and out of jail. And I remember one time, Ron, I was sitting at the top of the stairs. My dad was beating the hell out of my mom. And I sat there and I remember I was 10 or 11 and I can remember the moment. I can remember looking down the stairs and I said to myself, my kids will never experience this. And I didn't know what all that meant.
Right. How old were you?
I was 10 or 11. I remember saying it. Wow. And I didn't know that God would play a major part in me deciding, there's a better life than repeating all of these negative influences and negative ways to do life. There's a better way.
Wow.
And through God's grace and a lot of good people, I've learned that way, and I'm thankful.
Well, I want to say congratulations, because, see, no one would ever know that part of your story.
Right.
Unless you told it, because meeting you where we met of all the places in a thrift store.
Thrift store.
Right. And having a God moment, really. Yeah. We had a moment and a connection. And who knew how deep that kindred experience would be. Because hearing your story there, I grew up in a home with a lot of domestic violence. My mom and dad, my dad was a workaholic and alcoholic. My
dad too.
And the work ethics didn't transfer into us kids. Right. Not till later I grew up in the penitentiary. But just to hear what you've experienced and not have no trauma scars.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Right? We can't see them. We can't see them. So
I've done a lot of interior work for that. It takes a lot of time to shake off that family of origin crap. It takes decades.
I got to write that down. Family of origin crap. But I mean, family of origin. I was just in a conference this afternoon, and talking about historical trauma.
Yeah.
From families, from generations and generations of historical trauma.
Right.
And having the courage, which I see that's what you're exemplifying today, to look at it and deal with it.
Unless somebody has that courage to deal with their trauma, they're just going to repeat the process. And they'll become the dad they hated.
Finding your purpose should not be rocket science. Why is it in life when we get excited about something, when something comes our way and we know that this is our purpose, we know this is the reason why we were put here on earth, we allow life and the circumstances thereof to snatch our joy, to steal our dreams? Why is it that we allow those things to just suffocate our growth?
Because we make it so complicated. You need a program that shows you the process, that lays it out in front of you so that you know exactly when you're on track to unleash your fullest potential.
Because the word is, if you're faithful in the little things, you will be faithful in the big things.
In this program, we're going to teach you the process to actually reach your dreams. Some of you don't even know what your dreams are, so we're going to help you unlock that and unleash that. And then we're going to give you the process to step through all of the challenges, overcome every single obstacle in order to reach and achieve those dreams.
Part of the process of you becoming a new person for you is understanding what it means to be a TYRO, right? You're going to start reciting a pledge that is going to become your new mantra for your life, called the TYRO Pledge. And I promise you, this would change the way you think about you.
We're going to teach you the difference between a value statement and an observation. We're going to give you the formula on how to be successful investing your time and energy. We're going to walk you through the process of developing a mission statement.
This is not going to be easy. This is not a cakewalk. But if you're ready to live up to your greatest potential, to take on every challenge that's in front of you and conquer them, then you're ready to be a Tyro.
You must know you are not on this path alone. As you go through this course, you're going to be going through this course with people all across the world. There are Tyros worldwide that are waiting to welcome you into this community, to become a person worth following and join the network that is transforming their lives and their communities.
The greatest honor of completing TYRO is to earn the TYRO pen. Many people from across the world, from all walks of life, have earned the TYRO pen by completing the 12 workshops that are in this program. But just because you signed up, and maybe you showed up for one or two of them, doesn't give you the right to earn the TYRO pin. You must complete this entire program to be pinned a TYRO.
This pinning is an outward symbol of something that's happened on the inside. Because throughout the TYRO process, you are going to be awakened to your purpose and your dreams. Your heartbeat begins to resurrect and beat again for the passion of being a leader in your home, your community, and your workplace.
If your dreams don't scare you, then you are not dreaming big enough. Sign up for this program if you're ready to be pushed to your greatest potential. Sign up for this program if you're ready to live the next level of life. You have what it takes. Everything that you need is right inside you. We're here to help you pull it out, your greatest potential. Quit running from yourself. Become the man or the woman that you were called to be here today, right now.
Okay, so how many kids you have now?
I have 3 kids.
3 children.
Yep.
Are they all any adults or
They're all adults. They're all married. I got a couple new grandbabies. We talked about that in
Yeah,
Archibald.
you grandpapa.
Yeah, I got a 20-month-old and a 6-month-old, and so we're happy. They're all involved. It's not the family business. I didn't encourage them to, but they're all pastors. They're serving as a children's pastor. My daughter's an ordained executive pastor. She's also a social worker. My other son works at a Bible college.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I'm blessed. But
Isn't that amazing? You know, I think
I was hoping one of them would be a wrestling coach.
Oh,
But
you know, our children also are in our. We didn't mean it to be a family business,
Right.
But that's what it ended up being,
Yeah.
and it's a privilege and blessing to be able to work with our kids, to be able to see them raise children up in the ways that I wasn't conscious, so I wasn't even aware of my responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, I was just playing house, right? We have a saying here at the World of Tyro: real men don't play house, we build them.
yeah, that's good.
You know,
I like that.
and that's what we do now. So let me ask you this, Pastor Nate. So when you made that conscious decision, I'm not going down this track, who came into your world? I mean, you didn't do this alone.
No.
So who did you have to gravitate to, or did people just show up?
Some people showed up, but I had an older brother who was like a father figure, kind of really kept track of us. He had moved out, gotten married, started going to church. He was also very athletic. He didn't smoke and drink and party like everyone else did in Morenci. And he's the one that started dragging me off the church the day I really had an experience with God. He threw me out of bed physically. I told him to get out of my room.
Who's this, your brother?
My older brother, he threw me out of bed, said, "You're not in the truck in 10 minutes. I'm coming back in and you're going to regret it." And I knew he was serious. So I got in the truck and went off and had an experience that changed my life forever.
Wow. How old were you when that happened?
16.
16.
Yeah.
16. And now today, you are a very successful father, a successful husband. I know I seen your family there at the thrift store. Everybody was there. And then talking to you and following you on social media.
Yeah.
I did not know you were a celebrity.
I don't know about that.
Well, on social media, according to the numbers, you are. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And so, so you graduated from high school.
Yep.
Then what happened?
Went off to Minneapolis, worked my way through college, did 4 years of Bible college in Minneapolis, came home in the summers, and I, found some jobs for the summers. Got married, been married 37 years.
37.
Wonderful girl, wonderful bride. We moved to Alpena, and we were youth pastors there for a while, then Indiana, then Northville, Michigan, and then God has always had it in my heart to start a church from scratch. Just move into a community and go for it. And that's what we did 20 years ago, and I never regret it.
Wow. You know, when you say start a church from scratch, that what triggered for me is one of your hobbies.
Yeah.
right? One of the hobbies that you do is and let me tell you, Pastor Nate is a professional carver. He is in his social media, he's got a tremendous following of men and women who love to see his work and love to see what he does with a piece of wood. Mm-hmm. And that's what you do now. You see a community or you see families, and you begin, as the potter's hands begins to work, you get to shape and redirect people's lives.
Yeah, there's when you start out with a piece of wood, or you start out, I love the cottonwood bark from Canada, you take off everything that's not supposed to be there.
Like what, fungus or anything like that, or is it actual wood?
The wood, everything that is blocking what you see, everything that is in the way. And nobody's going to reach their full potential until they take out the things in their life that are not supposed to be there.
Wow.
And the people that make it, and you've been doing this as long as I have in a specialized area, the people that make it, they're the ones that can identify what's not supposed to be there. And they can get rid of it in their lives with support, with help, with therapy, with counseling, with friendship, with God, with faith. It can be done.
Wow. So you take a piece of wood and you're looking at it and you see what we don't see. You see something inside this wood. And so you begin removing the things that are blocking what only you can see, so others can see.
That's right. Because we're all created in the image of God. And everybody is valuable. And everybody has purpose and significance. But this world wants to distract us and attach all these things that don't belong, bad habits, family of origin stuff, just the pressure of trying to be successful, make quick money, whatever that is. And you got to get rid of that stuff out there to become and see the person you're really supposed to be.
Wow, man, that is wonderful. You know, I when I went on your social media site and I seen your work and I watched you doing it, I was just blown away. I had never seen somebody, that takes such detail, intricate detail, and you can't force it. Right. So I'm watching you carve in these pieces of wood, all these faces and stuff. But what I really appreciate is the patience that you had with the tool, because it's like getting a haircut, right? You can't put it back. If you mess up the haircut, you can't put it back. You got to wait for it to grow back. Well, same thing with the wood, right? If you take off too much, then you can fix it, but you'll know, man, I had to change course here.
Right.
And I think with life, with guys in here, second chances, third chances, with life after penitentiary, life after divorce, life after domestic violence, there's opportunities to regroup, refocus, and begin anew and start all over again. Yep. And I appreciate when I was watching that, when you're carving in those pieces of wood. And I'm gonna go a little bit faster because we're talking about carving. And Pastor Nate brought me something. And so when we come back, we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm gonna show you a gift that Pastor Nate gave me, something that he carved for me. And we're gonna talk a little about the story about how we actually met.
Okay.
And we'll go into there. So Stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hey, sweetheart, you got that blank piece of paper that I need?
Sure do. Right here.
Well, that's not a blank piece of paper.
It obviously is a blank piece of paper.
This is not a blank piece of paper. Why is it that you always give me something that's not what I want?
You know what, Ron? It's obviously blank.
I do not
don't know
want
what you're
this. This is
complaining
not
about.
what I wanted.
Oh, no matter what I do, it's always wrong. You
What are
find
you
fault in
talking
everything.
about?
It's obviously
This is
a blank
not
piece of paper.
blank.
I am sick and tired
Why
of
do you
arguing all
always
the time.
trip
It's
in
never
this?
good
You
enough.
never
I'm
listen to what I'm
tired
telling
of you.
you.
I'm done.
Just stop! Wow, what did you just witness? I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And together we have been working with tens of thousands of couples for the last 2 decades.
And we have been helping couples understand that nobody's right and nobody's wrong. They're just each seeing it from their own perspective and unable to bridge together.
So when's the last time you were in a discussion with your significant other or your spouse and you had a disagreement over something so small that turned into something so big?
So many of the couples we work with have this experience where they argue about something because they only see it from their own perspective.
So I'm looking at it from my vantage point, and guess what? Frankly, I'm only want to see it my way, because it's my way or the what? The highway.
Over time, what happens is these issues start to pile up and they create more and more distance between couples. And so now we're arguing about every small thing because we have to defend our perspective.
As we began arguing, it really was apparent whose side I was on. I wasn't on her side and she wasn't on my side. In fact, we were on opposite teams.
We became enemies, and what was more important for us was to be right than for us to actually understand each other. When couples do this, they continue to erode their relationship. What you need to do is get the issues out from between you, move them out in front of you, and remember that you're a team able to navigate through anything together by seeing all sides of the issue.
Now remember, there is nothing more important than us.
If you are sick and tired of being on opposite sides and arguing over every small thing, then this is exactly where you need to be.
Now it's time to introduce you to a program that's going to teach you how to resolve these issues.
In this dynamic program that's internationally recognized, you're going to learn how to resolve conflict, how to get on the same page and listen for understanding. Couple communication, which was written by Dr. Sherrod Miller and Dr. Phyllis Miller, will actually help you be on the same team and recognize the power of resolving conflict together.
One of the greatest tools that you're going to embrace is really coming to the understanding that what you've been doing is natural, but this is learned behavior, and we're about ready to take you to a next level on how to enhance your relationship.
Now, if you're sick and tired of having all of these petty issues come between you, if you are exhausted from every time that you have interaction with your spouse, it turns into drama, then this is where you want to be. You want to sign up for couple communication. You want to take this program together, and I guarantee you that you are going to love it.
Before I even came, I had controlling issues. I had problems with actually being able to talk to my fiance. And since I've been here and learned new experienced efforts, I can change my life now, and I can actually listen to her and know what to help her with.
Information that was given was really helpful. We'll be able to use it in our everyday life for our marriage, for our children, and everything else. So really enjoyed this weekend.
It's helped me to be able to let down guards that I was not willing to let down, because now I see a change in him, and I see him, becoming a different person than he was. He's more excited about the whole project, and now we're thinking we want to be a part of something like this.
Stop telling yourself that tomorrow you're going to do better. Stop saying to yourself, tomorrow I'll find that program. Today's your opportunity to do something not only for yourself, but for all those around you.
In couple communication, you're going to learn a brand new process. This process is going to help you avoid ever fighting over petty stuff again. It's going to take you to a new level in your relationship as you learn how to listen for understanding, to clearly articulate and share from your own experience. You're going to get on the mats. You're going to have notepads. You're going to learn skills that you're going to be like, wow, if only I had known this at the beginning.
It's not too late. We are all on this journey. We are all on this continuous improvement plan. But guess what? You have to take the first step, and let today be that first step for you and your significant other.
If you're ready to like each other again and be on the same team, this is the program for you. Sign up today.
Well, welcome back to TYRO TV. Today I have a special guest with me, Pastor Nate Elarton. Did I say it right?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Elarton. And I tell you what, we met at a thrift store. I said that earlier, but let's talk a little bit. I'm looking at something.
So when I was little, my grandma Elarton took me to the care and share store, and we were over in that area to bury my father. And I told the kids I want to go to Care and Share because that's where my grandma used to take me. So we all met at Care and Share because they were coming in from different locations. And you were in there looking at a pretty janky carving.
Well, I mean, to me, it was like, man, because I know I can't carve. So anytime I see something Indian, because my ancestry on my mom's side, we're Apache.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome. So yeah, so you were looking at that, and
it was for an auction too. I had a bid on that thing.
Yeah, it was a silent auction. He's bidding, and I think you were up to $50 or $60, and I'm just like, oh boy. And I love to carve. It's not just a hobby, it's a passion. And it's opened all sorts of doors for me to hang out with men. Men talk when they get some tools in their hands. They open up. And so I said, I'll take care if you want a Native American with a headdress. I said, I'll take care of you. So I carved this for Ron. And so I want to present that to you to put in your office with your other cool stuff you got in there.
Man, look at this. And we met at a thrift store. And I'm tremendously blessed. This is. I mean, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. If you just look at the details, and when I watched him on video, and I went back and checked him out, because he told me who he was. You know, you always look at social media. Let me see. I just blown away by the patience and the knowledge and the gift that's in him. And now I get to take a part of that gift from God that He's given you, and I get to look at this every day and know that one of the sayings that I have is I never met a stranger, right? I've never met a stranger, because I don't believe we're strangers. We're supposed to be intertwined and connected in some way or another. And Pastor Nate, this is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
This is
I'm
beautiful.
glad it brings you happiness. That's the blessing of it.
It brings me much joy. And, you know, meeting you that day, I went back and shared with people who I met and told them, and I've shared your site and show people and stuff like that. And I said, wow, you met this guy? I said, man, I met this guy. And you came and approached me, because I was busy looking in awe of this thing when you say, come on, man, that really can't impress you that much.
You don't want that.
But what's really impressed me is your spirit of kindness, the way you carried yourself. You're not over. Now I can be, you know, I'm a high D personality, so I know I can be a little bit forthright and come like that. But your leadership, and we had somebody on here earlier in the show, and he dropped that his dad to him was quiet leadership, and that's what I meet you and I see you now. The power you bring is this quiet leadership, where your presence speaks volumes, and it causes people to stop and listen.
I hope so.
Right, and it does, and I'm encouraged for our relationship to grow and to go. Yeah. And I know that the men and women who are watching this, if there's something you could say to them to help them really understand what opportunities are out there for them and what they need to do and when to practice to become better, so they're ready when they do come out of the penitentiary.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think you're just watching this. That's number one. You're taking advantage of the time you have. You're taking advantage of the resources that you have, where you're at, to win when you get out. And I pray and hope that as you get out, you can do a couple things. Proverbs says, you know, a dog returns to its vomit, you know, and a fool returns to its folly, that you don't go right back to what you know. I had to learn there's a whole new world out there than what I grew up with. Not every family screams and yells and slaps each other when they're mad. Not every family is poor. Not every family is struggling. Not every family has alcoholism. There's a whole new way of life you can learn. And it takes courage to step out of the only thing you know. And so, you know, get some support. Stay away from the people you know are going to take you right back to where you were. Get in a faith community. Find a good church, some good support groups. Get some friends that have it together, and pray like crazy, and use all the resources you have now and then. And with God's help, you'll never go back there.
And that's so true. You know, with all the people we work with across the world, when you have that strong support group,
gotta have it.
You know, you can turn to somebody. You got to have that network to where you can trust people. They're not going to judge you or condemn you, but you can talk to them. Tell them your struggles. Tell them your triggers. Tell them what you're going through.
Yep.
And I know, Pastor Nate, you know, I did not, you know, when you talked about your dear friends who committed suicide, you know, I can't imagine that, the devastation, especially at a young age.
Unfortunately, when I was in Bible college, my other brother, who was struggling with alcoholism, was sent to jail, was given probation if he would go to a drug and alcohol rehab. And he went there, and then he quit, and he walked away. And that was the first funeral I did, was my brother.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And so I was a junior in Bible college, so I'm going to tell you, you can't quit. Nothing worthwhile is easy.
That's right.
It takes tenacity. It takes perseverance. It takes some grit. But you can do it. Lots of people have done it. You've done it.
Mm-hmm.
You broke free. You didn't return that. And now you're helping thousands, if not tens of thousands of people all over the world. It can be done. You just can't quit. And when you feel like quitting, you got to go get help.
Go get help.
Yep.
You know, we say blow the whistle.
Yeah.
Blow the whistle. And I tell you what, Pastor Nate, I know this is just the beginning of a strong relationship, and I want to take it to the next level. I want to see where we can grow together.
That'd be great.
We have great opportunities for you to come and share what God has done in your life and how you can help others, lead them in that direction. And if you're willing to travel with us, we got a captivated audience.
All right.
That needs set free.
I would look forward to it.
And so, hey, listen, thank you all for joining us for TYRO TV. And thank you for letting us be part of your journey. Until next time, everyone, always remember that we are rooting for you.